Welcome Average Joe Nation from around the globe. Props to you for staying up to date and keeping in the know. Fantasy football, man, very soon you'll reign. The knowledge that these three guys have, man, it is insane. Fantasy football talk, hateful eight, they wear the crown. Hold it down, Pickle, Blackburn, and Trimboli, hold it down. Pulling up to LB Design Studio, we're getting loud. Season 2, headphones on, red light go, break it down.
Back to the Hateful Eight Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Pickle, and with me as always, Blackburn.
Sup, kids?
And Triboli.
What it do?
Oh, Week 15, a.k.a. the semifinals, are officially over, and it's officially championship week for 99.9% of the fantasy football leagues, except for those ones that decide they want to make Week 17 the irrelevant week, their championship week.
Yeah, they want to play with a bunch of backup players because all the starters are sitting.
I was going to say, that's pretty much the way it's trending at this point. So we will discuss some general news, not a ton, more so just one or two signings, some injuries, somebody to kind of keep an eye on. And then finally, we'll get into the Week 16 Thursday night games, a.k.a. the Saturday edition, since there is officially no more Saturday or Thursday night games. So,
they're gone.
Yep.
Echo? No.
What?
I thought I heard an echo.
No, he said they gone.
Oh, they gone. Got it. I thought you said something else. I thought you literally said the exact same phrase.
No, he didn't.
I hate you both. Anyways, all right. As always, don't forget to follow the show's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts.
Solid start.
Yeah, I know. Now on to Fantasy News and Notes.
Fantasy News and Notes.
All right, Fantasy News and Notes presented by Body Armor Super Drink. Superior hydration for today's athlete. Check them out at drinkbodyarmor.com or your local convenience store. The only real big signing this week, C.J. Anderson was cut by the Raiders and or upgraded to the Rams. So he went from a non-playoff contending team to a potential Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
Talk about Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas did
He's
come
trying
early
to sign
for
with
C.J.
every
Anderson.
team in this league.
Well, I mean, Gurley's knee was a little bit banged up, but they said he's going to play.
Yeah.
Week 16 against Arizona.
He won't. I mean, I can almost guarantee whatever happens, he's not playing 17.
He didn't play last year either.
No, so I would say he plays in this game as long as they're ahead.
Yeah.
Or they're behind, I should say. If they're ahead by a couple touchdowns, he's coasting.
Well, it's Arizona,
whenever.
So it's going to be
I'm
ugly.
banking on about this halfway, maybe before halftime, they're going to be up. So
They're still fighting for the number 1 overall seed, though.
I was going to say, they're overall
They need the Saints to lose.
I was going to say, the Saints need to lose and they need to win to kind of bring it back because they're is it officially a game and a half?
It's a game and a half. So
Okay.
if the Saints were to lose this week, Rams win, they're essentially tied, and it comes down to next week.
Yeah.
And both teams are going to rest their players.
And neither of those offenses look stellar right now.
No,
but if
not
you're
at
the
all.
Rams, you don't want to go through New Orleans and have a repeat of what happened a few weeks ago.
Well, you need it at your house, so.
I was going to say, neither one of these teams want to go into the opposite team's home stadium.
That's what I'm saying. So I think they'll play as long as they'll have the game under control.
Right. If they're up by halfway through the second quarter, Gurley probably doesn't play the whole second half. So sorry for your championship hopes if you were banking on Gurley to get you. I mean, he may still get you 20, 25 points for the first half. However, he's not probably playing that second half. Unless it's somehow magically a close game, I don't see how they're going to keep Gurley in this whole thing. So
there was another notable signing today.
Yeah?
That Nathan Peterman to the Raiders.
He's dear to our heart. Hot turnover himself.
The oven is heated. Preheated.
Yeah,
John Gruden was super excited about that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also let Khalil Mack go and trade away Amari Cooper.
Yeah, but he got
both on playoff teams.
But he got 3 first-round picks out of them. Yeah. I understand that they're lower first-round picks, but
he
it's
did
still
what
3
he needed
picks.
to do to make sure that they get that first or second overall pick. How about that? He did enough.
Let's just hope they're relevant.
And now bringing in Nathan Peterman. Now he doesn't even have to cook at his own house. He's just got Peterman making those hot turnovers all through the Christmas holiday
What's that say
season.
about Carr? Do you think Carr's gone now?
Not for Peterman.
Not for Peterman, but I think that's a steady backup for somebody that, because I'm telling you, I would be very surprised. I know he says Gruden has said that Derek Carr is his guy and everything else. I'm telling you, it all banks on who comes out quarterback-wise in the draft. If the kid from Oregon, I think it's Herbert, comes out, or Dwayne Haskins comes out, I would have no question or concern believing that John Gruden doesn't take one of those guys as a quarterback.
Well, I think Haskins is coming out.
I need to.
He's gone half and half. He said he was initially,
They're
and
looking
then
at
he's
that
made
kid from Georgia.
Right.
That's another thing. So all I know is, but there was a kid, I mean, side note, college-wise, but one of our kids that was coming in, quarterback-wise, for the 2019 class, decommitted, which tells me that he knows somebody's coming in, whether it's Haskins Stain or this Georgia kid is being transferred in. But that's for a college discussion. Anyways.
Well, listen, Jacksonville right now would love Carr.
That's another.
Washington would love Carr.
Right.
I would say a
There
lot
you
of
go.
teams would be happy to take Derek Carr out of Oakland. So we'll see. But
Carr is not on blocks currently.
No, he's not. He's potentially mobile. But injury wise, you're looking at guys like Cam Newton is more likely going to be shut down for the year. They're talking about him not playing this week.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers is practiced.
He said he was playing.
And he said, I'm playing. The coaching staff says basically as long as he practices full all week, he'll be playing. So that just check your injury report before you set your lineup going into the weekend. That's all.
Yeah.
So, but if he
It's
goes
not-
down, it's a bad situation for that whole entire offense. I'm talking Jamal Williams. I'm talking about Devonta Adams. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So another injury to kind of keep an eye on, Keenan Allen. He did practice. He has practiced so far this week. However, he is going to be a game-time decision. If he's not playing, Mike Williams is a fired-up, immediate start.
Absolutely.
As you saw.
Right.
I'm trying to think. Aaron Jones, like we said, Jamal Williams is a starter this week. No more
Lamar
Aaron Jones.
Miller's got an ankle sprain.
Yep.
So they're looking at Alfred Blue and Deonta Foreman coming in. So, I mean, lots of injuries. Spencer Ware has practiced, but he's limited. It's something to keep an eye on.
Frank Gore went out for the season.
Frank Gores. So Kalen Ballage has stepped up in that game.
Balaj.
He had a good game.
He did.
So the other one, the big one is I just drew a blank. We just had it was an injury that they're talking about, they're monitoring going forward. James Conner is a big one. It came out that they're not 100% sure that he's going to play this week.
Well, no crap.
So I'm just saying.
Tell us how you feel.
No, I'm just saying there was talks the whole time that he could have went last
No.
week without practicing, but yet they're saying now it's come out that he may not play. There's a pretty good chance he's not playing, which to me means Jalen Samuel fired him up. However, the matchup is not the best in this game.
Well, that injury usually goes 4 to 6 weeks. It's only been 3 weeks.
So we'll see.
Well, they're looking for a playoff push now, and they know that they're in the. I mean, they're looking good to make the playoffs. So it's a different situation right now.
So we decided, instead of since there wasn't a whole lot of news and injuries and so forth, we decided to kind of do, as we call it, our WOW players of the week and or the playoffs. So it's kind of like the guys who have either blown up in the playoffs that you didn't expect, or guys that pretty much decided to fill their diapers, as we'll say, or I guess the basic term of poop in the bed is the best way you could put it.
Really, it's the guys that you had counted on all year, and they're probably the reason why you're no longer in the playoffs.
Right. So guys, big name guys that may have done horrible in the playoffs that should have done well but didn't. So the surprise good, at least for me, was Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
Guy has been nothing all year. He's been so hot, so cold. He has put together 2 weeks of points of averaging about 18 fantasy points. He had 17 and a half in week 15 or week 14, and then week 15 last week he had 22 and a half. So, I mean, he's looking at, and he's got another good matchup this week against Green Bay, who's a poor defense in that secondary. Yeah. So, he's somebody that I looked at and I was like, wow. I mean, I was scanning through fantasy points over the last 2 weeks and kind of like high-low, and I was like, wow, Robbie Anderson scored that many points. I mean, I knew he scored a lot last week. I didn't realize he had scored that many points the week before as well.
Right.
So, and he's got a bad defense, so a good matchup this week for sure. So, who is your good one, I guess?
My good was Mike Williams for the Chargers. I mean, he had a subpar game. It was decent, 8 points 2 weeks ago, but last week when Keenan Allen was out, 36.5.
Huge.
Right.
Huge.
I mean, even with Keenan Allen going down, no one really thought you were going to see somebody put up that many points that quickly.
And like you said earlier, if Keenan Allen doesn't play, even if he does play, I don't think he's going to be 100%. So I like Mike Williams a lot to start this week too.
Yeah, most definitely.
I mean, the only difference would be now that Melvin Gordon's back, we'll see if they're dinking and dunking it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But still, if Keenan Allen's out, Mike Williams is the next guy up. So
yeah. All right. Who is your good in this one?
Mine is
who's your wow surprise in a good way?
He's on fire right now. I mean, he was hot garbage. And actually, you know what? I haven't looked at it, but you could probably add up these last 2 weeks, and that's probably what he's done all year.
Yeah.
I would say more.
Yeah. It's Derrick Henry.
Wow,
Absolutely.
yeah. Good old Sasquatch showed up for the playoffs. He came out of hiding.
And not only did he show up to the tune of 77 points in 2 weeks. I mean, that is unreal.
Right?
I mean, this is a guy you're going to ride. I bet you right now, if you look at most people's championship lineups, they might have him in it.
Yeah.
I added him this week in a league that I'm in.
Yeah, most
Jeez.
definitely.
He's playing Washington.
Washington is.
How can you add him at this point?
I drafted him at the beginning of the year.
Well, listen, I get it. So the 47-point game, week 14, I get it. You might be like, all right.
It's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Then he comes out and has 30 the week after.
Right.
I mean, because Washington, I'm looking at it. Washington is literally middle of the road, like dead middle of the road, and running back PPR points. They're giving up just shy of 25 fantasy points a week.
They've progressively gotten worse as the season's gone
Right.
on.
And the thing is with them, I mean, Derrick Henry is pretty much seeing the majority of the workload now, where earlier in the year when it was kind of nicer, a little bit better weather, a little bit better field and quality and everything, you saw a lot more of Deion Lewis in that pass game setup. Now that it's a little bit cooler, field's not as good, and they're playing a little bit more poor defenses run-wise, stopping-wise. They're implementing Derrick Henry and just saying run downhill, go.
Well, I think they're they're taking a lot of pressure off Mariota, too.
Yeah,
and having him try
that's
to
what I
win
think,
the game.
too. I think they're changing the philosophy on that offense.
And they should.
Yes,
they
should.
God,
I mean, Mariota's not – listen, he's a good quarterback. He's never going to be a great quarterback in my mind. I think this is a great step with using Derrick Henry the way he was supposed to be used.
They're old. The way they run their team is like old school mentality. It's defense and good run game.
It's Vrabel. Vrabel is a defensive-minded guy. He's an old-school guy. He's a workout warrior type guy. I mean, that's just how he is.
Right.
And their defense is looking great
that's what I'm saying.
now.
I picked them up, too, to play against Washington.
So I'm trying to pick them up in my other championship league. So
yeah, so not a bad – I mean, those are three guys. I mean, Mike Williams, great game. And if Keenan Allen says out, another good game. I mean, it is against Baltimore, who has a pretty
they're
good
a stout
defense. However – a lot of their defensive stopping is going to be trying to stop the run and stopping Tyrell Williams, because the way that Mike Williams runs out of the slot a lot, and that's where Keenan Allen has made his career in the Chargers offense. So he's not going to see the top corner.
Right.
And then Robbie Anderson. So, I mean, just a lot of names, I mean, that you wouldn't have thought, like, specifically that would probably won you weeks this week and last week, potentially. So now the surprise bad for me was Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen started out hot, and he even had really good, I would still say, closer to the 20-point games on average, even when that Minnesota offense was struggling.
Well, he's also dealing with a calf injury.
Right.
I was going to say, once that injury came out that he was dealing with that calf injury that week, that Diggs was out with some sort of injury, I forget exactly, but when he had to be by himself out there primarily, he has not been the same since.
No.
He had 12.8 points 2 weeks ago, and last week he had 3.9. And this is in PPR, mind you. Bad. Right. That's horrible.
Yeah. That's not good.
That probably lost you a good week.
Right.
Or made the games closer than it needed to be.
And just like, Tennessee's doing with Derrick Henry, I think Dalvin Cook, they're putting him back in that offense more and more in Minnesota, which is what's going to take away from touches to Thielen.
Well, because it's Mike Zimmer. Zimmer's an old-school defensive mentality guy.
And DeFilippo's out of there, or however you say his name.
Hey, you seen it. As soon as he was gone, they lit up the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, because they went back to what they do best.
Mm-hmm.
That's run the ball.
Latavius Murray,
I was just about to say, he got touches.
I mean, they were split. I mean, they ran the ball like 40-some times, and they hadn't been even close to that.
No.
Not even like half of that had been between the two of them, so... All right, what was
your
bad?
Who's still not relevant? Kyle Rudolph.
No.
Man, what happened?
I'm hoping that they bring somebody offensive coordinator-wise next year that actually gets everybody involved, because, I mean, you still have you technically have a Madden all-star style team with two good wide receivers, a good, to me, a good quarterback when you give him time to throw the ball. No, he is not. We've all seen that Kirk Cousins is not a great quarterback when he's got pressure or feels pressure. He's not. He's not a Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers, where it doesn't change their game plan. It doesn't change their game mentality. Kirk Cousins kind of goes into a shell when he's got pressure, when he starts feeling pressure, whether it's there or not.
Right.
So
I agree.
I just think that they got to find somebody that can explore every avenue of that offense, because they got a homer hitting offense. So it's kind of like another version of the Saints style, where they've just got. I mean, they got all-stars across
everywhere,
the point.
Yeah.
So
and their defense is a monster.
Who's your bad, though? Or surprise bad, I should say.
Speaking of quarterbacks, my bad for this, the playoffs has been Cam Newton.
Yes. Horrible.
Awful.
First week of the playoffs, rolling in there. You're trying to get to the next round, and what's he do? He throws up a 10.4 in PPR. So you're like, okay, maybe you squeaked by and won that one. So you go to your semifinal round this past week, and he does you one even better. 4.7. What?
The best part is in that game, the passing touchdown came from the running back.
Yeah, McCaffrey.
Yes, thank you for that.
One play, and he outscored Cam Newton for the whole game.
Yeah.
For the whole playoffs.
Cam Newton doesn't. I mean, he's not looking the same either since he had that shoulder injury.
No,
his throws were either too low or too high. I mean,
you could tell he's not 100%.
No,
from early on in the year, he was feeling it.
And now they're shutting him down because they're essentially eliminated from
the playoffs.
Right.
So, and then who is your bad in this one?
My bad. I'm going to stay with the running back position. It's Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't broke 15 points this playoffs. And that's terrible.
And now he's nursing a foot injury.
Yep.
Shocking.
So I mean, it's not looking good. It's not what you wanted out of your stud back.
No. Are the Jaguars? They're not even in playoff contentions, are they?
No.
So there's a good chance he might get shut down at some point.
It could.
Or
it wouldn't matter anyway.
Well, no. But
he's playing like he's already shut down.
He has been all year.
He shut himself down.
Yeah, he shut himself down when he threw that haymaker punch. Anyways, so all right, let's get into the Thursday night primer, the Saturday edition. Did you have somebody else?
No.
All right. Presented by Trophy Smack. Yeah, here it is.
This is the Thursday Night Primer.
All right, the Thursday Night Primer, Saturday edition, presented by Trophy Smack. Fantasy football greatness. Ride your fantasy football greatness into history with Trophy Smack's exclusive trophy collection. Over 1,000 trophy combinations available. Trophies starting at $99. We've got a cool promo code going right now, especially with the end of the year. You're talking about your fantasy football point, your leagues, your trophies that you're wanting. But as you can see, the ring's on the table as well. So you get a free ring with a purchase of any trophy. You just use the promo code TH8FFRING, all caps, all one word, no spaces. TH8, the numerical 8, FF ring, and you get a free championship ring with your purchase of a trophy.
They're nice too.
Yeah, and the trophy comes with 19 engravings, a part of that. It's all free shipping. I mean, you can't.
Like I said, those trophies are legit.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, so. I like them. I mean, the rings, both styles. They call it I think it's the bling ring, and then they've got the standard ring.
I like both of them.
Either way, but the trophies. It's a heavy trophy.
It is.
It's well made, that's for sure.
Yes.
The best part was, so I showed my wife the picture of the trophy. She's like, I do not want that in my house. And that's how I know it's a great trophy. Right there. When it's not wife approved, I want it.
I want it right in my living room, right on the mantle.
I'll be honest, I do want it in my house.
I do.
I'll have to wait till next year.
Yeah. That's okay.
Maybe not this guy.
Yeah.
I'm still in it. Still got a fighting chance. And with Cam Newton going down, all I hear is run CMC. Because whoever that backup is, good Lord, he's not going to make that much of a difference.
I don't even know who the backup is.
It's like Tyler Hickens. I don't know. It's some nobody. I'm sorry if he ever hears this show and I said he's a nobody. But all I need him to do is take a 3-step drop and hand the ball
he's not
off.
Calling in.
I'm just saying, take a 3-step drop, hand that ball off to number 22, and let him do the work. That's all I need you to do this
Just run
week.
the Wildcat all day.
Yeah, it is.
Why not?
I mean, he proved to you he could touch. He did more than Cam. Let's put it that way.
This is true. So, all right, we got 2 games this week on Saturday. We got a Saturday afternoon and then a Saturday evening game.
I like this setup too.
I do too.
The first game, Redskins at Titans.
About to get stomped. The Redskins, that is.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, fair enough.
They're a 10-point dog.
Yeah. Oof. So. You've got the good, correct?
I do.
Okay, who's the good in this one?
Surprise, surprise, Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah, Sasquatch.
Last 2 games, 50 rushing attempts, 408 yards, 6 touchdowns. They're finally using him the way they should be, or they should have been all season.
Yeah.
Washington, 23rd against the run. So it's going to be a long day for Daron Payne and company.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to take a drink. Anyways,
Thanks for the update.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Facebook status update. If you
Breaking
needed that.
news.
Breaking
Pickle
news.
takes a drink.
I was thirsty. Anyways, I agree with you. I'm surprised with the fact that Derrick Henry. If this is what you saw in the last couple games, and they've not been playing poor defenses completely either. I mean, they're middle of the road defenses, and I'm just so surprised that you didn't see this type of offense earlier on in the year.
They just changed their. It's like you said. They just changed their philosophy on how they're playing.
Now, do you think it was the mindset that we just brought in Deion Lewis? We paid some pretty good money for him. We want to get our money's worth out of him. Not in a negative way, but just it's the same thing with Kirk Cousins. I truly think it's the same situation that they paid that much money for him. They wanted him to throw the ball to get their money's worth in some odd mathematical way.
Well, if you look at Minnesota and Tennessee, they both changed their philosophies from what made them successful.
Right.
True.
They tried to make Mariota the guy that is going to throw the ball and win you games. It wasn't like that. DeMarco Murray was their guy.
Right.
And now they turn to Henry, and he's doing well. Same thing with Kirk Cousins. You let Dalvin Cook take the pressure off you instead of you throwing 35 times a game, and look what's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not. Don't worry about putting up those 50 points on the scoreboard. Just worry about owning the clock.
Yeah.
And basically, that's what Tennessee's doing right now, and they're just running the ball right down your throat.
Right.
And their defense is smothering.
Yeah.
Now, there are games that obviously that's not going to work.
True.
When you're playing a high-powered offense, that may not help unless your defense can get time to rest, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at it. I mean, I'll just bring in a team that specifically has made that like their MO for the past, 3 years now? Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas. Even before that was DeMarco Murray and Tony Romo. Tony Romo did throw the ball a little bit more down the field. However, I mean, it was a lot of clock management and banking on that defense to play to stop them or keep them at a minimum. But the thing is, even good defenses, if you're out on the field too long, they're gonna be exhausted pretty quick. And that's the thing. You can't put them back out there. You can't go 3 and out quickly. You got to have time management. And the thing is with them, the Titans have figured out a way to slow the clock down. And I know that sounds weird, but slow the time.
Yeah.
Use as much time off the clock as possible, and then putting a fresh defense back out there.
Sure.
And their defense is not bad either.
No, they've been playing pretty well the last few weeks.
Yeah, they're studs.
So I like it. I think Derrick Henry's got a good matchup. I'm hoping that he doesn't play well, but he shouldn't have a minimum of 10 to 12 points easy.
I'm going to say, at least 12 to 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm banking on for him.
Right.
But overall, I would not be surprised if he's closer to the 20 points at the end of the game. So depending on how well the Redskins offense is, which we all know that's right.
They shouldn't have beat Jacksonville.
Right. They shouldn't have.
To be honest.
They somehow did, though.
Yeah, penalties.
Yeah, whatever.
This is true.
Got it done somehow.
Who is the bad in this one?
My bad is obviously a Washington player. It's Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, well.
Listen, the Titans are ranked second against the running back, and they've only allowed 6 total touchdowns. That's second in the league.
Yeah.
And they held Barkley to his lowest point total all year at 9.6.
Yep.
So I don't see a good day for their old Adrian Peterson.
Unless he can bust off a 90-yarder like he did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No.
That's not going to happen, though.
No. He's been a stud, though.
He struggled last week against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He's, unfortunately, at his current age, and I'm not making it like he's like the oldest person on this face of this earth, but what I'm saying is his overall physical abilities are not the same as what he was when he was 20-something, when he could take over a game by himself without a good offense in his early career like he did. He can't do that now. He needs a passing game. He needs something to kind of take at least some of the pressure off of him.
Well, unfortunately, 3 of the 5 offensive linemen are gone.
Right. Yeah.
You were down to our 4th-string quarterback.
Dude, you're just hoping to stay healthy in Washington.
Yeah,
at this point.
I don't know. He's went far and beyond the expectations I thought he was going to this year.
Right.
All right, which brings in my ugly. The Titans defense. The Redskins offense has been giving the opposing defense, fantasy-wise, an average of allowing them to get 8.9 fantasy points weekly. So, on average, the defense that's playing against Redskins offense is averaging about 8.5, almost 9 fantasy points a week, which is not a bad setup to go into your championship weekend to play, because more than likely the Titans defense is probably on your waivers, and no one's picked them up yet. It's a good matchup. It's a favorable matchup. Could they get only 5? Maybe.
It's at home.
It's in Tennessee against a depleted offense and a defense that's going to have to continue to probably be on the field a ton and be worn out. I just see that the Titans are going to eventually make, whether it's an interception, it's a fumble, something's going to happen. They're going to get some points. They may give up a couple field goals. They may give up a random touchdown. I'm just saying overall, though, I just see this defense doing enough to get you fantasy relevant points this week.
I picked them up.
Yeah, well, Vegas agrees with you because it's only a 37 over-under with Tennessee favored by 10. So it doesn't leave a lot of points for Washington.
No.
Right.
So, all right. And then this one's the one that this is the game of the two. Nothing personal, but this is the game I'm excited to see because I think you have a really good, two good defenses, and you have an exciting young offense with Lamar Jackson, and you have a veteran, steady, ready guy in Phillip Rivers. So
these are playoff implications at this game.
Yeah,
for both teams.
Right.
So
one's looking for a bye, and the other one's just looking to get in.
Wild card.
All right. So who has the good in this one?
I have the good.
Okay.
My good in this is actually because he's been good so far this whole playoffs, and I have to take my hat off to him because I didn't think he'd be this well all year. But it's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He's been a stud. He's been a top 15. Actually, he was a top 10 quarterback last week. it's not his ability to throw the ball because he's only throwing for 131, 147 each game, but his ability to run the ball, 95 yards, 67 yards. He's getting in the end zone. The Chargers do have a pretty stout defense against the quarterback, but they haven't seen a guy like this that can run like at this pace. So no. I see him having a pretty good game, probably going to sneak back into that 18 points again.
Right, and people are like, well, Kansas City's offense, the Chargers did really well at stopping that defense at times and at key points in the game, which is fine, and it is in L.A., it is a home game for whatever that means for the Chargers. The Chargers aren't really like a home and away split. No. They pretty much are who they are, whether they're home or away.
Right.
But for me, when I'm looking at it, I think defensively, I just think that Mahomes is more of a gunslinger. He's not a running quarterback, where Lamar Jackson is a run first with the ability to throw. He's the opposite of Mahomes. Mahomes is a throwing quarterback with the ability to run if need be, where Lamar Jackson is a lot like, and we talked about this in the offseason, the draft, measurables. He is literally measurably, Lamar Jackson is, height, weight, arm lengths, everything, Deshaun Watson, to a T. Even his measurables at the combine. Yep. So I'm just telling you, it's a Deshaun Watson type guy, and I'm excited to see how this Lamar Jackson does against this pass rush. And that's what I said in last week's game. I said the key to the game will be how much pressure is put on Patrick Mahomes, because and with the offense scoring, because he's never really been in a game where the offense is scoring as much as his offense is scoring,
right.
And he's being put in an awkward situation where he may be behind or the game is on the line and he's going to have to make some throws. And that defense did what they had to do at times and stopped the offense for the Chiefs when they needed to, and on a key plays they did. So I just think that the Ravens have a really good defense.
Yeah.
Like top 3 defense, and you got the Chargers, who I think like a top 5 or 6 defense right now. So both defenses are good. So it could be a low-scoring game, but I'm excited to see how these offenses do against each other, honestly. So the bad in this one, who is am I?
You got the bad.
Yeah. Okay, the bad in this one, I just think that it depends on whether Keenan Allen plays or not. For me, ultimately,
it's the same for both of us,
right? But for me, because Baltimore is first against wide receivers, it's not a great favorable matchup. And if Keenan Allen plays, I think who you have as the ugly works. However, if he is put in the spot where if Keenan Allen doesn't play, I think that this wide receiver core takes a hit offensively. I'm not saying that they can't still be relevant. I would just say pump the brakes and don't expect like 20, 30 points from each of these guys.
Right.
So that's all I'll leave it at. But right now, the Baltimore defense is giving up 20.8 fantasy points to PPR wide receiver position as a whole. So that's all wide receivers that play in the game. Right. They're only giving up 20 points, which is really, really good for a defense.
Right.
So,
well, that's why I had Mike Williams as my ugly.
Yeah.
Because, if Keenan Allen doesn't play, don't expect big numbers like he got last year.
Right.
Last week.
Right. No, and that's why I guess that's why when I saw what you put him as, I totally agree. It's just if Keenan Allen plays, I think that helps Mike Williams.
Yes.
If Keenan Allen does not play, I think that takes a hit to Mike Williams' overall ceiling.
The
if that
whole
makes
offense
sense.
is going to struggle.
Right. I think that kind of takes an element. And you're hoping that Keenan Allen goes out and only plays as a ghost receiver. I know that sounds like what I mean is like he just goes out and runs routes. He's not looking for the ball. He's not 100%, but he's just going out there to dictate some defensive coverage his way. That I think helps Mike Williams. However, and Melvin Gordon even. But I just it all depends on whether or not Keenan Allen plays ultimately for me. So, but I agree. All these points will be interesting to see how it goes going forward. But even if this game is I don't know what you're going to get out of this defense. That's what I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look like positive and negative. I'm just like I don't know. You could see a high scoring game, but
I think it's just going to be an old school.
Yeah. Well. So
black and blue game.
This puts me back to the quarterback situation.
Right.
Phillip Rivers, you've been riding him all year, and now you're at Baltimore. Are you scared? Are you looking elsewhere?
I'd be nervous.
I say Baltimore. I'm looking at.
So is it Josh Allen? I know it's not a popular name, but he's been putting up big numbers in the playoffs. Is he a more intriguing play?
Who's Buffalo playing?
I don't have Buffalo for the game.
Yeah, they're playing at Patriots.
That's not a bad matchup.
No, it's not.
But I will just tell you, Baltimore's defense currently only giving up 12 fantasy points to quarterbacks.
Well, they're number one against the receivers and running backs, I think.
Yeah, they're 2 against running backs, 1 against wide receivers. Yeah. Their weak point is the tight end.
Yeah.
However, Hunter Henry, just so we're all knowing, is not playing this year and hasn't.
Yeah.
Stephen A.
Well,
anyways.
Anyways.
I love what Hunter Henry's done this year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be great tonight. Hunter Henry's going to be good tonight.
Did you see Brewski's face?
Yeah, he was like,
what? That was
Love
great.
That was
I
great.
love it. Either way, I'm still playing Rivers, though. It's a primetime game.
Yeah.
You got to play him.
Play the studs.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Play your studs. Now, make sure, as Trimboli usually tells everyone, but you make sure that these guys, if they are a running back or a wide receiver, or if your flex allows you to play a tight end, if you're going to play a tight end in this game, not sure why, but if you have to and you're at the bottom of the barrel scraping, trying to find something, make sure they are in their actual legit spot. Don't put them in your flex. None of these guys should be in your flex at all. They should all be in the running back spot, wide receiver spot, or the tight end spot.
You never know.
Yep.
You don't want something to come out where if you've got, we'll just say, worst case scenario, you play Mike Williams, and you put him in your flex, and James Conner was your running back. Well, you had a running back sitting on the bench, and now game time shows James Conner is not playing, and now you're like, oh crap, I got to go to the waiver wire and find a running back, and you find Joe Jackson that's not actually
find Kalen Balaj, who's going to get you like 8 points.
Right.
Have fun losing.
Right. So please plan accordingly to this. So, all right. That's all we got. You guys got anything else?
No.
All right. I'll tell you guys, thanks again for tuning in to today's show, whether it's on YouTube, the podcast side, or even on DATV. Please check out our site, thehateful8ff.com. We still have some in-season weekly articles going out through this week. You can follow our personal accounts on Twitter at jpickleTH8FF, at jblackburnTH8FF, and at ftrimTH8FF. There's still time to get your last minute championship help. I mean, if you got questions, concerns,
you only got a couple days.
You only got a couple days to get through this, and hoping that you come out in the positive. So,
you want to be hoisting that trophy and putting on that ring.
Yeah.
True story.
So, all right. Thanks again, and we will see you guys for the Week 16 Sunday game. And there's a Monday game this week in there. I just totally botched that outro, didn't I?
Yep.
All right, we'll just leave on that note. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
One more time. There ain't no one like these three. You know you just heard Pickle, Blackburn, and Trimboli. Get the goods talking about nothing but fantasy football. Yeah, it's your year to dominate and to wear that ring. Prepare for the draft and dial in on your craft. Quarterback, the first round is a good choice, you ask? This guy's got first round pick, a favorite? Not so fast.